Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user ExpertAnybody2366. Am I the a-hole for refusing to take care of my wife since she caught the flu from having sex with her affair partner? This is partially a rant and partially an actual question. I, 54 male, have been married to my wife Veronica, 54 female, for over 32 years. We have 3 adult daughters and 1 adult son. Early this year, she started menopause. I loved her and supported her throughout this difficult time. She said she didn't want to have sex because she felt like she's fat and ugly. I told her she's beautiful and I was patient with her as she said she didn't want sex. It was only since this month that she wanted us to have sex again. I thought things were getting better until I saw a condom wrapper in our bedroom. My job involves going out of town for business trips. This last trip, I tried to get into my wife's social media and luckily enough, she used someone's birthday as the password. I found out her affair partner is Zed, 35 male, a family friend who has a wife, 29 female. So on my trip, I read so many messages. One message involved Zed asking if it was okay to come over for their fun time since he thinks he's coming down with something. Even after getting back in town, I read some messages. Zed messaged that he and his wife have the flu, so he can't see my wife for a while. My wife said that herself getting the flu was worth it. And so I came home to my wife who's suffering from the flu, and I immediately told her that I know about her and Zed. She was upset but too weak from the flu to stop me from packing and leaving. She begged me not to leave her alone while she's sick. After I left, my wife has been messaging me. She said she's very sick. I told her to go to the doctor, call an ambulance, or call someone else. She said she's not dying, but she needs me. She said she can't call our kids nor any other family member since they'll ask why I'm not there. She said that menopause had made her crazy and that she wouldn't see Zed anymore. I still haven't gone back. Am I the a-hole? No, OP, of course you're not the a-hole. How many women go through menopause and don't cheat on their husbands? Nah, don't give me that crap. She's a cheater. That's it. Simple as that. Now, if I was in your shoes, I would simply grab all that information that you got on those messages and share it with Zed's wife right away. Whatever she wants to do with it, it's on her, but she deserves to know. And regarding your children, I don't think you need to protect them anymore. Just go ahead and tell them what happened. They're adults, they can handle it. Because, let's face it, cheaters are cheaters and they're going to try to manipulate the narrative somehow to see if they can shift blame or skate through. Don't let her do that. And again, OP, not the a-hole. She can take care of herself. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Avatar Julius says, I wouldn't have packed and left. I would have drove her to Zed's place and told them, you left this at my place. Mustang 1967 says, call the wife and tell her. Call all your kids and tell them before she lies and do the kids right away. See a lawyer right away. And OP responds, I would hate to tell my kids, but I may have to if their mom will lie to them. The sanity inspector says, menopause did not make her cheat. Mail order a carton of NyQuil to her if you're feeling a little compassionate. And OP responds, I'll never know what menopause feels like. I've known other women who've gone through it. To my knowledge, those women have managed to avoid having sex with a married man who's a family friend. HCIBSW says, not the a-hole. She is not dying, she'll feel better in a week or two. Not being able to call anyone else for help because you're not there? For F's sake, your job takes you out of town. The best excuse for her to use is why you are not there. Menopause may make someone feel like they are crazy, but does not void all sense of right and wrong. Pretty sure Zed isn't going through menopause. What is his excuse for having an affair with a family friend? I wonder what would happen if you messaged Zed with, I know. Does your wife know too? And Kim Berry Nuts says, definitely you're the a-hole if you take her back. She was unfaithful. Everything that happens as a result of that has nothing to do with you. Be a man and forget about her. Opie's edit. As soon as I found the messages, I was planning on telling Zed's wife. I wanted to tell her face to face. I wanted to spare our adult kids the horrible news, but many in the comments made a good point that my wife could lie to our kids. So I called Zed's wife first. I don't know what's going on in their marriage because she believed me right away. I called my kids and talked to them like a conference call. I had to, unfortunately, send some proof to them. I didn't go overboard, just enough for them to believe me. Obviously, they're all upset. I tried to keep it together as I don't want to vent about their mother to them. Edit 2. Zed's wife has been messaging me last night and this morning. She was planning on leaving Zed anyways because Zed was sleeping with 2 other women. But the fact that Veronica is a married woman who is like a family member speeds things up. Zed's wife made Zed leave the house. Also, all my kids have called their mother. They're not buying any of their mom's excuses. They all want me to divorce her. Okay, well, the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole. Zed's wife kicked him out and all of OP's kids are behind him on the divorce. So now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. The answer was obvious, but I needed other people to tell me so I didn't stupidly go back to my wife. Thank you for those who commented on the first post. I had made 2 edits on that first post to explain some stuff that happened after I posted. To just briefly touch on those edits, Zed's wife and my adult kids know that my wife Veronica had an affair with Zed. Zed's wife kicked him out of their house. All kids are on my side and they want us to divorce. I talked to a friend who's a major divorce attorney for the 3rd time. I given her a lot of the evidence so she can decide what we can use. She did say that I should be careful with what I say online. Our kids, especially our eldest daughter, are pressuring their mom to make this a quick and easy divorce. My eldest daughter didn't appreciate it when my wife said that when she goes through menopause, she'll understand. Also, Zed's wife is someone Veronica and I watched grow up. She was like a niece. Our eldest daughter was the maid of honor for their wedding. A lot of people who commented said I was being too nice to my cheating wife. I'll show some pettiness by letting everyone here mock all the excuses and minimizations she made for her cheating. Quote, menopause made her crazy. She felt fat and ugly. She felt like she didn't deserve me. Zed came on to her first. She wanted to make sure a man can be attracted to her without him being obligated to because she's the mother of his children. She had sex with Zed to make sure she can still have sex. Zed didn't mean anything to her. I'm overreacting because Zed is a family friend and not a family member. Zed's wife isn't like a daughter to us. She didn't betray a woman that's like a daughter to us. No, you betrayed your husband too, you moron. Other husbands have forgiven their wives when their wives cheat. If I had sex with a younger woman during a midlife crisis, she would have forgiven me. We have 4 kids. We've been together for so long. I promised to love her in sickness and in health. And on this last one, I would say, yeah, sickness and in health. I don't think cheating is on that list. Well, OP, good riddance to your cheating wife and all her dumbass excuses. What the F, man? I think it's great that your kids are fully supporting you and just telling your mom, you know what, just shut up and make this easy on dad because you suck. So hopefully, OP, this thing goes smooth for you and it'll be over soon. Take care and thanks for sharing. And now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user StunningNewt6338. Am I the a-hole for bringing my own popcorn to the movies because my mom eats like a vacuum cleaner? So, my mom, 54 female, and me, 24 female, have this tradition where we go to the movies once a month. It's fun, and I love that I get to spend quality time with her. But there's this one major issue. My mom is a popcorn monster. The second the movie starts, she's inhaling the popcorn like she hasn't eaten in days. She's a pretty healthy lady, watches her diet and everything. She just loves popcorn. She finishes the entire bucket before the previews are done. And guess who gets none? Me. I tried telling her to leave some for me as well because I'd love a bite or two as well, and she just shrugs and says, "You should eat faster." This time, I decided to take matters into my own hands, and so I snuck in a separate bag of popcorn just for myself to enjoy. We got to the theater. She grabbed her bucket, we waited until the lights dim, and naturally, she started ravishing her popcorn. I started eating mine as well. Halfway through the movie, Mom caught me munching on my popcorn, and I swear, if looks could kill, she gave me this look, leaned over and whispered, "Did you seriously bring your own popcorn?" And I just nodded and kept eating. After the movie was done, she told me that what I did was very selfish. It would have been nice to share with her and that I ruined her experience. I was a bit shocked. It's just popcorn after all, and she never leaves me some. Here's where I might be the a-hole. I told her she eats the popcorn like a vacuum cleaner and that she always eats her portion and mine as well, but she still expects me to leave her some if I bring my own? How is that fair? She doesn't want to go to the movies with me anymore. Am I the a-hole for bringing my own popcorn because my mom can't control herself? No, Opie, I don't think you're the a-hole, and I think the way that you made the point was the most logical one. You clearly stated that she eats her portion, your portion, and she's okay with that. She tells you that you should eat faster, but when you bring in some and you don't share any of yours with her, that ruins her experience? No, that's not right. Opie, I think you need to sit down and talk to your mom and tell her how much you enjoy going to the movies with her and that this popcorn incident can't be the reason she won't go to the movies with you anymore. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Mobile Following 198 says, "Not the a-hole. Your mom is though. It's obvious she isn't eating the popcorn like that because she likes popcorn. She's doing it so you eat less. My own mom used to do the same thing. I realized later it was 1, partly to control and humiliate me, 2, because she thought I was too fat and shouldn't be eating popcorn. Your mom may be doing it for one or both reasons too." Tabs is Dumb says, "This all seems way too blown out of proportion. Not the a-hole clearly, but your mom needs to chill the F out. She's faulting you for not sharing when she's already had plenty by herself and wants to end an entire tradition just because you would also like to snack while enjoying a movie? I'm not sure what ticked her off about you getting a separate share, and if you feel bad about calling her a vacuum cleaner, just apologize for it, but tell her that either she'll have to share with you or you can just get separate buckets, which seems like the simplest solution. Still don't get why your mom got mad though. Hope it works out." And Opie responds, "It feels a lot more than just the popcorn thing, or at least that's what my intuition is telling me. It is just popcorn after all, and her reaction seems just way too much. She has other silly things she does, and she's very fixated that things should be her way and only her way, but still, she never acted like this for such a small thing." And Gandalf the Greenery says, "Not the a-hole, but I honestly can't believe you missed the opportunity to shrug and say, you should eat slower." Alright, the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole, and OP seems to think there's something underneath this whole thing. So now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Thank you to everyone who took their time to comment on this silly situation. I'm back from a heart-to-heart conversation with my mom, and I thought you'll wanted me to share. So after mom called me selfish and said I'd ruined our movie night tradition by bringing my own popcorn, I knew something deeper must be going on. No one actually sane reacts like that for such a small thing. I sat her down and first of all, I just told her that I'm very sorry if I upset her in any way and that I'd like to know what's actually going on and why did she react like that over something so small. She tried to brush it off at first by telling me that I'm overthinking things and that I should just let it be. But one thing about me is that I'm really stubborn, so of course I did not, lol. After some time, she opened up. It turns out she's been carrying a lot of heavy stuff for a while and I had no idea. She admitted that she's struggling with feelings of loneliness and depression and she tried to contact a therapist, but she's too scared to start. Since I moved out in 2022, she's had a hard time adjusting to an empty house. Dad died in 2005 and she's felt isolated. Our movie nights were something she looked forward to, a small tradition that made her feel more connected to me and less alone. Also, she apparently has some health issues that she didn't want to share because she doesn't want to burden me with them, which is mind-blowing to me. She's been going through tests, waiting on results, and the meds are also messing with her, making her feel annoyed really easily, etc. All of this stress combined with how much she misses having me around made her lash out at something as small as popcorn because in that moment it felt like I was pulling away from the last bit of normal we had together. She panicked, got really angry out of nowhere and lashed out. She also said that popcorn is her comfort food and she has it every time she's alone because it makes her feel better and because she remembers our movie nights. But still, she also said it might be stress eating something that she finds comfort in because it soothes her. She also apologized for the "you should eat faster" thingy because that was just out of pocket and a bit mean. I've had my ups and downs with mom, but we settled on still going to the movies, and while it's very freaking expensive, we'll buy 2 portions and she cannot touch mine. She actually can, of course. She knows she needs to control herself for her own good, and I'll try finding her a good therapist, and if it helps, I'll even go with her. Also, someone in the comments suggested I should buy her a popcorn machine for Christmas, and I'm definitely doing that. Today's lesson, friends, check on your dearest people and please communicate if you have problems. Well, OP, even though your mom is not doing that well, I think it's a positive and good update. Instead of just letting it fester or just avoiding your mom because of what she said, you talked to her, like you said, communication, and you guys got to the issues and even came up with actions like your mom going to therapist, which you would also join if she'd ask you to, which is great, I think. And also, you're gonna get her the popcorn machine, which I think is really sweet. So on that note, here's wishing you both the best in the future, OP. Thanks so much for sharing and take care. And now, let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user MD Lapla. You want me to answer what you expect to hear? Okay. Back in my days working for a Big 5 consulting company, we were mandated to attend several courses. The one that relates to the story was called Corporate Image, and was about looking the part, being well dressed and such. Being that the company had a strictly suit policy, the idea of the course was kind of an indoctrination to the Barney Stinson's school of dressing. I was having a particularly rough day that day, so we could say that my attitude towards the course wasn't the best and I sat in the back. The guy in charge, let's call him Corpo, starts the course by showing a video of a guy wearing flip-flops, bathing suit, t-shirt with surfer logos, badly trimmed beard and ponytail, explaining some technical stuff in the most boring way, stuttering and showcasing a poor knowledge of the subject. After the video finishes, Corpo asks if we think that the guy is a good communicator and that the message got through. Everybody says no. Corpo asks why. People start saying that he doesn't look the part. Then Corpo asks me. I reply, because he's boring as a white wall and doesn't know the subject well enough. Corpo doubles down. Do you think that the way he's dressed has something to do with it? I said, if he's good, knows his stuff and communicates well, we could be fully naked for all I care. Everybody laughs, except Corpo. Corpo starts a full 15-minute rant about how looking the part, how wearing a suit is the most important thing because it makes someone believable and trustworthy and blah blah blah. I interrupt him once to say, lawyers are among the most untrustworthy people on earth and they all wear suits. He continues his rant by saying that nobody would trust a lawyer without a suit and blah blah blah. Okay, so this is how we roll. Suits are the most important thing and this is how you expect us to reply. Fine, I will comply. Fast forward to later in the course. He shows footage of Steve Jobs and Steve Ballmer talking, engaging with the audience and being generally well regarded as good spokespersons, while wearing their typical outfits, which, guess what, are not suits. Then the Q&A about the Steve videos start. I say, they don't look trustworthy. 2 of the top 20 rich people in the world and they wear something that I can buy for like $40 at any shopping mall? Where are the suits? Corpo by then is kind of furious with me, but I've managed to engage the rest of my colleagues into my side of the equation, so we start arguing who's more trustworthy and if the brand of suit goes directly proportional to the trustworthiness of the guy. Examples go from Pat Riley with his Armani suits to Don Corleone with his tailor-made ones. Corpo has lost the class and everything ends prematurely when someone asks, "Wait, are military suits trustworthy or not?" Corpo gasps, thinking where the conversation could be heading, and dismisses us ahead of schedule with an, "Okay, you've all passed this course, I think we'll end it here." Well, OP, sounds like you were the one who actually understood the material, and you had the whole class pass. Thanks for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.